Hello everyone, and welcome back to Jesse Hecht Creative. Today we're going over some Spider-Man villain action figures, the retro, modern, and animated series Green Goblins from Marvel Legends. Before we begin, make sure to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. Now let's get to it. The retro-carded Green Goblin to start off is a very nice figure with a decent head sculpt. I do love how this looks, and this hat is amazing with all the wrinkles in it. The ears have a lot of good texture, the face is very wrinkled, the smile is super well done, that grin all the way around, the wrinkles everywhere is really wonderful. And what are these over here? This wall-eyed figure, giant eyeballs, whatever you want to call them, they scare me in a way. I don't know, it's just creepy and strange and kind of goofy, honestly. To me, they're just way too big for the figure's head. I think it's kind of a visor or a mask or something, but really just make them all yellow. That'd be much better. And this head also has good articulation going all the way around, as well as back pretty far, forward pretty far, with some nice pivot all the way around, as well as this hood piece. It's very nice. And you do have to move the hood piece down to get it to sit. It's kind of difficult sometimes, but looks nice for sculpting at least. And there's a little hole in the back. Interesting. The body looks pretty simple, just a couple stretch cloth over here with a belt over there as well, the butt over here, and some more stretchiness over here. It looks great. With good articulation going back and forward. It's kind of an older style body, but it works in a pinch. The arms are covered in scales, almost like fur in a way, with some really good sculpting on these gloves. I love how these look. I wish this guy came with fists though. That'd be very nice. The gloves are awesome and the scales are pretty nice too. Couple mold flashes on the back that's kind of interesting and a little bit of an oversight in a way, but at least they put it in the back and not the front. The color choice is very nice too, a deep magenta and a light green. And the articulation can go up pretty far as well. I don't want to scratch anything, and go down and all the way around as well, with a swivel over here, a double jointed elbow over here, and a swivel over there, as well as up and down on the hinge for the hand. And the exact mirror on this side over here too. The scariest thing about the Green Goblin is not the eyes, but the legs. The color scheme is consistent here and looks very nice, and these boots are just phenomenal. I love the phrase on these as well. Nothing much to say other than sculpting's very nice, and I wish they redid this guy without pins. That would be amazing, Hasbro. And for the scary articulation on this figure, you go out pretty far and in, and then up pretty far, and then back pretty far, all the way back over here. Very nice. With a down over here. Now here's the scary part, a swivel over here that might break, who knows, as well as a swivel over here, and then a down, and then an up over here, and then a pivot with two peg holes at the bottom of his feet. For accessories, he comes with a pumpkin bomb that you can hold lightly in his hand. It looks really cool, actually. I love the shading on it as well as the colors. It's pretty nice. And the back is shaded as well, looking awesome over here. I just love how this piece looks. And both hands are designed to hold this piece. It looks nice in either of them. And where to put all of the Green Goblin's pumpkin bombs, but in a satchel, of course. It isn't painted as well as it probably should be. There's a buckle paint missing, which is weirdly over here. We've seen this before, this satchel looking very nice. I love the detail on it, and I really would hope to get more in the years to come. It's such a good piece, just needs paint right over here. Maybe they missed it, I don't know. And placing the satchel on Green Goblin isn't too hard. Just have him raise his arm up and place it on there, and you are good to go. It looks great on him. Very fashionable, very chic. He also comes with a standard Goblin glider. It is molded in only one color here, a metallic type of silvery blue, looking really nice. I love this sort of Jester Harlequin kind of thing. Look over here. I can tell there's a smile even though there isn't one, or it could be some kind of demon. It's really nice looking though. I love how angular these stirrups are over here, and we have some boosters over here and over here, as well as the middle. I wish there was a peg though, but there is a turbine. That's nice. And included with the figure, but not included with the figure, is a hole for the stand that doesn't exist over here. So yeah, that's kind of a bummer. All in all though, a really great piece and iconic for this character. And placing it on the stand at the smallest point makes it look really nice. It is flying pretty low to the ground, but it does look good on a stand, so that's very nice to see. There's also 2 points for medium and tall. And putting your Green Goblin on the stand is pretty simple. Just pose him in the way you would want, and then place him under the stirrups with those good feet that work very well for these, and we are awesome! Just add a pumpkin bomb and voila, we're set with this. It looks really nice here. The retro Green Goblin also comes with an alternate Norman Osborn head sculpt that looks pretty nice actually. I like the sculpting on this, and the hair looks amazing at least. Love it. And the face looks pretty decent from a time when they used to not do printing on their comic book figures. It looks very nice and pretty Norman-esque. They even got the lines in his forehead. It looks great. I love the wrinkles for the brows in the middle as well, and this cocky self-assured expression is just wonderful with these sort of like dimple things up there. I don't know what they're called. And it does swivel all the way around as well with a nice up and a nice down with some not really that great pivot. It's pretty good though for this nice Norman head sculpt. I also love this head sculpt when unmasking. The rictus grin on the Goblin sculpt is really nicely done with those blank eyes, and Norman's face here screams, well, you finally got me, Spider-Man. And much more recently, speaking of printed tech, they did release a Norman Osborn head sculpt in the Cabal 3-pack, and while this does look nice, it doesn't look that great or fitting on this figure. It looks better on the Professor X body, and that's where I'm gonna leave it for now. And the retro Goblin head sculpt looks nice on this, actually color matching really well with that neck, even if the back is kinda gappy. The front looks nice too, long neck. And the articulation works pretty well for this head sculpt all the way around, back and forth, and a really nice pivot for this one. It's great. And getting the Green Goblin in the perfect pose with all of his accessories makes him an adversary that Spider-Man will never forget. Taking a look at the Sandman Wave Green Goblin's head sculpt, this is just phenomenal. A beautiful, beautiful piece. One of my favorite Marvel Legends head sculpts to date. The saggy, wrinkly skin, the super creepy goblin mask, the ears that go over the hood, as well as that hood itself, makes this guy a nightmare. I love how even if there isn't shading on this, it seems like there is shading on this, and those eyes are haunting. I love them. I love how sunken in they are, and I love how rotting the teeth look, as well as the deep green and the dark purple just makes this guy a menace. And the head does go all the way around, as well as go up pretty far and down pretty far with a nice pivot, making this one of the perfect Green Goblin head sculpts. And one more thing, he does look like he's looking up in a lot of scenarios if you move his head up, but if you move his head down, he's looking at you, and it is the creepiest thing I've ever seen in any Marvel Legend. It is basically perfect here. The body is pretty much the exact same as the previous figure, the gloves, the body itself, even the satchel, as well as the belt too, and the arms, all the same. But the colors here pop and are really gritty and dark. I love them. The super deep purple, that shocking kind of lime green, even the pink over here and the gold fits well. The satchel has some really great gold highlights, and I can't tell if they're on here or not, but it looks wonderful, as well as the belt being a little bit gold too. They got the paint app right on this one. Why not the other one? Makes this one much better in my opinion. And the legs as well are the same as the previous, but again, the colors are what matters here. They look grim, gritty, dark, scary, spooky, what a goblin really should be. And articulation for this figure is the exact same as the previous one. I do think that all those problems ago started with the legs with this figure, not the other one, so I'm not going to really move these, but man, what a killer figure. He comes with a similar pumpkin bomb. I do think it looks wonderful and pretty much the same as the previous, just less brighter colors and more of that grim grit we know from this one over here. And the other hand holds this pretty well too. I do love how this looks, however, I think the retro holds these pumpkin bombs better than this one, sadly. He also came with a glider similar to this one that did not have a hole in the bottom, and it was much more of a blander kind of flat silver than this bluish silver we have here. And placing your goblin on your glider here is really simple as well. Like the previous, just put the feet in the stirrups and voila, it's basically perfect here. And with pumpkin bomb in hand and in this kind of pose, this is top 20 for me easily. I love Green Goblin, he's so cool. And for kit bashing purposes, you can place the Cabal 3-pack head sculpt on this body and it works wonders. The dark creepiness and lack of sleep he's gotten is great for this goblin. It looks great going all the way around with that nice hair sculpt, and the patches under his eyes look really creepy, and the articulation is very nice as well over here, working great for this creepy, scary goblin. It even looks great with him holding the mask. It's horrifying. I love it. And the articulation articulation works really well for this head sculpt all the way around, as well as back and forth, with a nice pivot for this head sculpt. It's wonderful. And here is the retro Green Goblin next to the modern Green Goblin, as well as the glider on the highest setting of the stand. And they all look really great together. Definitely this one is the winner for me. This one is pretty nice too. That head needs a little bit of fixing here and there, and the glider is, as always, awesome. Retro stands at about 6 to 6.25 inches tall, as well as the modern, the same exact height, and the stand is about, I would say, 4 inches taller, so to the top of the points. But by the pricking of my thumb, something animated this way comes right after this. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and hit the bell icon for more creativity. Now let's get back to it. I watched the Spider-Man animated series way back in 2020 or so, and man, did I not expect this to translate this badly to plastic. The eyes are a horrible gold, but that mouth looks like a cat's mouth, and I can't get over it. It looks terrible to me. It's just so weird and stupid. The ears are also ginormous. The glue isn't setting well for the head, as well as this, like, weird large stocking piece for his hat. What is this? What does he fill it with? It's way too fat, I think. It just looks so stupid on him. I'm sorry. I thought I would like this figure way more, but it's just a dud, this head sculpt for me. You get a swivel over here at least with a back and a forth, and even this dumb piece doesn't sit right. Come on, Hasbro, what are you doing? Really bad. The body is pretty fair, at least. It looks the same as the previous. The arms aren't scaly, though. I don't know. I kind of like the scales. They were pretty cool. What the heck? And these are just kind of boring other ones we've seen from other figures. The belts were taken from a different figure. This is a kitbash. What is this? And the worst part of all is they couldn't even get the colors consistent. You have this deep purple for his underwear, or at least whatever this is, the shorts, trunks. It just throws it off from the whole body. It doesn't work. The articulation's fine. You get back and then forward. It was swivel over here, as well as an up pretty okay, I guess, and a down, and then kind of all the way around. It doesn't want to move on me. What's going on with this thing? It's just so bad. Swivel over there, and really gummy elbows. With a swivel and a hinge, the same exact piece we've seen from the other Goblins. It's just blah. And did I mention how bad the colors were on this? It's like a lime green, but it's like a weird puckering for the sculpt. What is this kind of thing? I don't know at all. It looks horrible. His legs look really deformed. And the boots aren't the same. They're just different. They don't have that tattered look. They have a cleaner look. This guy looks way too clean and way too newly done. It's just strange for me, honestly. And for articulation, you get out really far, which is honestly the best thing about the entire figure right now. Going up pretty far and back, all the way back over here with those pinned legs. Ew. And then down with a swivel up here, swivel down here, down, and then up with a pivot and two peg holes at the bottom of his feet. Oh my goodness, what a trash figure. Ew, horrible. The pumpkin bomb at least looks really cool. I love this look for it. It's a translucent flame, as well as translucent inside and painted outside. It looks awesome and very scary. What the heck? It looks great. And par for the course of this figure, it doesn't fit well at all in the hands, which, yeah, I could see that coming. But yeah, I'm giving this pumpkin bomb to the modern Green Goblin. Just great. Yep. This looks awesome. Enjoy your nightmares now. He also comes with the same satchel with the same method of application, except that stupid large puffy thing in the back is getting in the way of this. And why is it a deep green? It doesn't make sense. It should have been purple like this. What? But having not checked out the source material in a long time, I guess it was the source material's fault, but I really blame Hasbro for not saying, heck with that, it looks stupid, let's change it. And even this isn't painted. What is wrong with them? And the glider looks doofy as always. It's a matte purple that doesn't look good at all. The turbines are actually painted, kind of. I can't tell, really. They look nice, though, at least. And the front, oof, looks stupid, I think. Looks like Shredder in a way. From TMNT, yeah, it looks really dumb. I take that back with the previous glider. It looks much better without a face on the front, I gotta say. The eyes are stupid. And at least the bottom has that hole so you can put it on a stand, but it does not come with a stand, so what's the point, Hasbro? Really, include a stand with the figures that have a stand hole. It's just, you know, makes sense. And placing your Green Goblin on the stand after posing him is very simple. Just plop him in, yada yada, and yeah, it's just okay in this kind of thing. I don't know. He does look kind of better in action, and with the pumpkin bomb, it fits a little better and looks nicer. It's pretty good now, I guess, but not nearly the best. He also comes with a Norman Osborn head sculpt that looks really stupid, I think, and there's a mold mark in there that probably will never come off. It's underneath. I can't scratch it. That is a bummer. Not my favorite head sculpt in the least. The hair is pretty cool, though, and actually weird. It's cut into the hair, the style, so it looks like his head's being kind of sliced. It's awkward. The eyes have a weird spray paint underneath them, and the lips are so big and dumb. What is he doing? The eyebrows at least look really nice though, and the eyes are pretty good. I'll give him that at least. And the hairline is kind of barely glued on. It's just trash. What happened to you, Hasbro? You were great like 5 years ago. And you get a swivel over here as well, with a back pretty far and a forward pretty far, and not really much pivot for this. Yuck. Just yuck. And here's a shot of the unmasked Norman Osborn holding the pumpkin bomb as well as the mask on the glider. And I gotta say, even though I thought there would be some kind of unmasked head sculpt he could hold, I actually like the fact that the big mask is a mask in itself. It kind of works well. It doesn't mean I like this figure anymore. I just appreciate that you can do this kind of thing. So it works if you like this specific figure in the animated line. The retro Norman head sculpt looks pretty nice in this body, actually. It works way better than the initial head it came with. While the Cabal 3-pack head sculpt gives a haunted soul kind of vibe to this, it's very scary. And if you put this head sculpt on the Professor X body, why would you, though? It's so big and huge, it makes Hetty Brock put to shame. The skin tone doesn't even match, and there's a huge gap back here. The articulation is, gosh, just pass all the way. Here are some animated series figures. Next to the animated series Green Goblin, we have the Hobgoblin and Spider-Man as well. And I hate to say this, but this figure is even better than this one over here. It's just that bad. This one is a winner, of course, in my book, but I think you need to change the face as well as the cape to make it more animated series looking. And the Green Goblin stands at about, I would say, 6¼ inches tall or so, and the glider stands at about 3 3/4 inches to the top of the glider on the highest point of the setting on the stand. And comparing the stands, there are a lot of similarities, but also a bunch of key differences. I do think this is a separate piece as well on both. They're probably like the same mold, honestly. They actually are, yeah. But as for a clear winner, the regular one, not the animated one, it's just so much better. The silver is nicer as well as the faceplate. Yeah, this one is just terrible, and it's going with the Goblin in the trash. And here are all three Goblins together, the retro, the animated, and the modern. As for the clear winner, here, the modern wins by the biggest mile in the world. But I gotta give these two credit. While this one does win overall as well as Satchel, this one wins for the pumpkin bomb, and this one wins for the Norman Osborn head sculpt and the glider. Overall, Goblin that green. The retro Goblin is a really nice figure. I like the color scheme. The head sculpt I'm kind of warming up to, at least when unmasked, and the Norman head sculpt is nice as well. All the glider needs is a stand, and this is a definite winner. The modern Goblin is a triumph. I love the color scheme, head sculpt, as well as the accessories with this figure. And if this modern Goblin came with a glider, a stand, and a Norman Osborn head, it would be one of the best Green Goblins in all of Marvel Legends history. The animated series Green Goblin is probably one of the worst figures I've ever reviewed in my entire life. Terrible face portraits, really bad color scheme, gummy joints, and pins everywhere. The glider looks awful, a lot of reused parts for this figure, and the pumpkin bomb is the only saving grace of this trash heap of an action figure. If you're a fan of Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, or Spider-Man villains in general, then you'll love these figures. They're pretty great. I would highly recommend getting the modern Goblin. He's one of the best. Even if the retro comes with really good accessories, the modern one is where it's at. And stay far, far away from the animated series Green Goblin, unless you want the Mary Jane that comes with him. But make no mistake, it's not easy being green. So which Green Goblin here is your favorite? The retro, the modern, or the animated? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching Jesse Hecht Creative. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. You can also visit us at jessehechtcreative.com for more reviews like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and keep being creative. Stay tuned.